Hey, so if you're watching this video, it's because you're saying, I don't know what to cover. I don't know what to talk about. It feels a little bit too much like bragging, or there's nothing really super special about me, or any number of different possibilities. And you're just kind of stymied and don't know how to go forward with creating an elevator pitch. And just so you know, that's pretty normal. It's really, really hard to figure out exactly what to say, or sometimes even if there is anything to say. So let's break this down, and I'll give you some tools to hopefully get you started on the process. Also, you might want to check out the sample elevator pitches to see and get some ideas of different ways that you can frame your elevator pitch, because depending on the context, there's going to be different things you want to highlight. So let's start with, first and foremost, an elevator pitch is not bragging. That's where a lot of people get hung up initially, because they're like, well, there's nothing super special about me. No, no, no. One, there is super special stuff about you. You're you. You have unique things that people are going to be interested in. But the elevator pitch isn't about shoving into someone's face how you are the best person in the world or anything like that. The point of an elevator pitch is to begin a conversation with the other person, to say, hey, here's something that I'm bringing to the table. I want to keep following up with you and talk about this more. And hopefully, you'll share the same thing back, and then I'll want to follow up with you too. It's meant to be that brief introduction that you have, so that way the other person gets to know you as a person, not as just a resume or a name. So, with that in mind, one of the best things that I think is a good starting point is to imagine that you were introducing yourself to a friend. So, some person that you know, and you're like, hey, there's a clone of you who has the exact same experience, exact same memories, exact same thoughts, exact same personality, exact same skills. And you're like, hey, let me introduce this awesome person to you because I think you guys would get together really well. It's a little bit weird because you're thinking about yourself from outside of yourself, but it's helpful because it takes the burden from saying, what is special about me and how am I going to convey that, to what is special about this person who I happen to know a ton about, strangely enough. That by itself, that extra distance, can help you figure out, hey, these are some points or some skills or some things that I would say, yeah, you should totally tell this potential employer, this friend, this investor something about. So start there. Try imagining that it isn't you introducing yourself, it's you're introducing someone else, and that other person, you just happen to know exactly everything that's going on in their life. For some people, that's a little bit strange and it's a bit hard to wrap your head around. And if that's the case, totally fine. Second thing that you can do, go and talk to, usually 3 to 5 is sufficient, but more if you want to. But talk to 3 to 5 friends, family, people who you know, trust, and you know will build you up, who see the best in you. And ask them, what are the things that I should showcase in an elevator pitch? I only have 1 minute, so what are the 2 to 3 things about me that I should showcase? If you are an exceedingly humble person, you're probably going to say, oh, no, 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 that doesn't matter. You're going to dismiss a lot of what they say. Or if you don't have a ton of self confidence, or if you're just a normal person, like, we all are trained to reject positive feedback, compliments, and be like, oh no, let me talk it down. And in this case, I am going to say, I understand, but no. When you go to your friends, you go to your family, and you say, what are the things that I should be showcasing to other people? Listen to what they say, and then the only words that you should say at the end are thank you. If you feel any sort of negativity, any sort of dismissing of something, shut that down and only say thank you. Because What you've just done is you've asked them for their perception of you, and they're going to give you an honest assessment. And to say anything else, to reject any sort of compliments that they offer you, is kind of like slapping them in the face, because you asked them for the favor and then they told you and gave you their honest opinion about why they like you. And if you're like, no, that's totally not right, or that's not nearly, that's a little bit rude. So say thank you, note everything that they say down, and then go talk to the next person and the next person. And when you look across the 3 to 5 people or more that you talk to, you'll start to see that there's trends in the things that they call out. And those are probably the points that you want to put into your elevator pitch. So we have, imagine that it is that you're introducing someone else, and what sort of points would you say for that other person who happens to be you? What would you offer? Second thing is talk to close friends, family, and get their insights as to what you should be talking about. The third thing is for people who sit there and they say, I have too many potential directions I could go. Maybe you're a super multi-talented person. Maybe you have a lot of different cool experiences in your background. And you're like, I don't know what to bring to the table. Totally fair. Matter of fact, over time, all of you will realize that, yeah, you actually could do 10 totally different elevator pitches all on yourself. And they would all be accurate. And all they would be doing is showcasing different aspects of you, none of which are lying or misleading. It's just in one context, you might be the most caring, supportive person who listens to friends. But in a workplace, you really want to showcase the fact that you are a very organized, hardworking, and talented at social media person. So depending on the context, you're going to change. And that's the last one, is write down all of the things that you would like to convey in your elevator pitch, and then clump them together based off of the context. So you can say, hey, if I'm going to apply to a finance position, here are the different ones I really want to call out. If I were to sit down and talk to someone about working in management, working in sales with a person, what are the different pieces of myself that I would most want to showcase in this 1 minute that I have? And keep in mind, you only have time to showcase 2 or 3 different aspects of yourself in an elevator pitch. So it's going to be tough. You're going to have to pare things down and select just a few. But that can help you if you just get overwhelmed by how many different things that you could bring into the elevator pitch. Now, I know this isn't going to cover absolutely everyone, but this should give you a pretty solid start. And if for whatever reason none of this works, talk to your professor, talk to me. My email is datomczYk@quinnipiac.edu. And I'm happy to help you out and get you into the spot that you feel comfortable with your elevator pitch. If you have other questions, check out the other videos that are up. And otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful time.